I wanted to say good morning because I work in the morning all the time, and so it's just the greeting I'm most accustomed to.
And I wanted to say nothing because it is the morning and I am not good. So you're getting me fresh-faced and bleary-eyed and morning voice and all the terrible things.
This may be the most professional I'll ever be on this podcast.
You're like, this is when I function best.
I thrive. It's honestly a little late for me at 7:40 a.m. if I'm being.
Oh my
If
God.
we had convened at like 4 a.m., I'm really in a groove by 4 a.m.
Shut the fuck up. I'm literally pointless until noon. So, oh, okay. Good morning. Good afternoon. Good day to everybody. Welcome to Say Smut, a literary podcast for readers and non-readers.
That's Sarah, and she's tired, but that doesn't stop her from loving books anyway.
That's Hope, and she's so awake, and she loves talking to me about books. Each episode, I break down the plots of some pretty wild books to Hope, who has not read them. And today, we are back for the holiday season with some holiday smut. And when I was investigating stuff, I mean, obviously, if you clicked on this episode, you have seen the title of the book. It's you know where we're going with this, but I don't know why I went down such a rabbit hole of Krampus books. And it was inevitable. I was going to do a Krampus themed book because there were so many. There were so many to choose from. But I chose this time around for a very Krampus holiday by Katee Robert. And the reason I chose this was that Katee Robert is a famous smut author on the, I would say, indie side of things. And I love her books because they were one of the first things that got me into smut.
Amazing.
She does Olympus like themed series that really got me into things. She does a kind of dark fairy tale that has like a girl called Tink.
Fun.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
I know what you're saying.
We're not gonna have copyright issues, but you're gonna read between the lines and know what it's about.
There's only so many Tinks.
Yeah, there's only so many Tinks and so many hook-handed individuals. So I also love her writing because she's super inclusive, very good about writing polyamorous relationships, good about writing queer relationships, good about keeping in mind all these different backgrounds that people could have and making them all smutty as hell.
Amazing.
So going into this book, I want to tell you a couple of things. First of all, some content warnings. Obviously sexual content, but we also have murder and domestic abuse.
Okay.
And maybe some strained family relationships.
Sure.
And some reference to some mental health needs. It's supposed to be a darker themed book, but I don't think it crosses any lines that we're like, ooh, ethically, we don't know if we should be doing this. And like, it's not that we're shaming anyone who does dark romance, because I love some dark romance. It's just, how do we make commentary about some of that stuff, right? On a podcast? So if those are not your jam, come back another day. We'll see you on maybe a Frosty the Snowman themed day, or
perhaps
Santa Claus day. Who knows?
Possibly.
We'll see you at a more reasonable hour.
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe. So let's get into the ratings. On Storygraph, we have a 3.32. On Goodreads, we have a 3.31. So that is very, very similar. Those are very aligned. About the author, Katee Robert is a New York Times and USA Today bestselling author of spicy romance. Entertainment Weekly calls her writing unspeakably hot. Her books have sold over 2 million copies. She lives in the Pacific Northwest with her husband, children, a cat who thinks he's a dog, and 2 Great Danes who think they're lap dogs.
Perfect.
Okay, so I will turn off my phone if you heard that buzzing.
I did.
We are not available right now.
This is a cell phone free zone.
Yeah, we are off our devices. A disclaimer before we get into the plot. This was originally posted to her Patreon, I believe. And so like this was not meant to be like a book. It was meant to be like a fun little subscriber special.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. A fun little sexy jaunt for
Yeah, just a little
patrons.
jaunt. It is 15 pages.
Amazing.
So that's a good reference point for you. Are you ready to dive in?
Yes.
Okay, great. Because I'm going to set the scene for you.
Okay, I'm ready.
We just had a lot of snow, right?
Uh-huh.
We had literally a foot of snow drop in the Midwest.
So much snow.
So imagine we're in a remote cabin. Maybe we're by like a lake or something. Oh, Luca's there.
Luca loves it.
Luca's there.
He says, take me there.
It's dark at night. There's snow falling outside.
Mm-hmm.
There's crackling in the hearth.
Yeah.
And our main character, Imogen, is a frantic, jumpy mess. Okay?
Sure.
She cannot chill the fuck out for the life of her.
Cabin fever.
Some could say she is very paranoid that there is blood on her hands. Not literally, at least not anymore, because she's now washed them.
Good.
But there's an entire backstory about how we got here. And like for this being a 15-page book, we only really get like a page of like explanation, and it leaves a lot of gaps.
That's okay.
That we can I don't know if we can read between the lines, but I have a lot of questions.
Decide in my heart how it is.
Yes, exactly. Imogen's family sent her away.
Mm-hmm.
Well, they didn't like straight up send her away, but they essentially were hinting that she should get mentally evaluated.
Mm-hmm.
And she's heard that once before. It's what happened to her aunt Arwen. Sure. I don't know what's up with some of these names. I'm going to be honest.
Arwen, it's just a fun name.
And maybe it's a reference to another one of her. I don't know. Maybe it's.
I've heard weirder names IRL.
That's true. That's very true. So, Arwen kind of became the black sheep of their very, very wealthy family. Mm-hmm. And we all know the stereotype of like very wealthy families. You have to act a certain way, be very normal, be very stuck up.
Yes. She's goth.
Yes. She is very much like it's not a phase mom, you know?
Mm-hmm. I get it.
And it's like briefly mentioned that her family's wealth may come from coal mining. I don't know. Either way, they locked her aunt Arwen away in a facility.
Okay.
And so when Imogen like starts acting a little off, she's like, oh no, people are going to lock me away too. I'm not letting that happen. Okay.
Fair enough.
But why was our friend Imogen acting a little off? Well, probably because she's so guilty from killing a man.
Oh, no wonder.
That'll do it.
That'll do it.
You
gotta get that off your chest, girl.
So she starts getting these weird comments from relatives being like, oh my gosh, that breakup really screwed you up. And she's like, yeah, for sure.
Oh my gosh, that relationship was killer.
That relationship slayed so hard. So she ran to the one place she could think of. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Quote, she could have gone anywhere when you're am I reading this in the right tense? Yeah. Okay. Sorry. For a moment I was like, am I writing third person or first person or what? Okay. It's clearly too early to be doing this. She could have gone anywhere when your family started their murmurs. Why am I saying this so weird? Could have chosen a city to lose herself in, or even left the country entirely. Instead, she'd been a fool and run to the one place that contained only fond memories, her father's cabin.
You fool.
Yeah, it sounds like she's running from her family at first, right? Like it sounds like they're going to come after her. And if that's the case, then why would you go
to your family-owned cabin? It's a good question. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So, it's unclear what's up with her dad because she talks about him as if he could be deceased. Like she talks about him in a way that people do when you like care about somebody and you miss them.
Sure.
But that's never said.
You decide if he's alive or not.
Yeah, exactly. Also, it's very clear what the weird family dynamic is because apparently her dad was so wonderful and like incredible and loved her so much. And yet he's also part of that family. That's the side of the family that's super rich.
Yeah.
So you're like, so where's your dad? If your dad is alive Can he not vouch for you and like take care of you during this weird
I'm gonna
time?
assume no. I'm gonna assume it's sort of like a Cinderella adjacent situation where dad loved her very much. Their relationship was perfect. He tragically perished, and now she's just left with family members who are mean
Touche.
to her.
That works.
That's how I've decided to interpret it.
Well, it's not going to matter in the long run. And none of this matters in the long run. We've got 15 pages, you guys. So Imogen spends a lot of time of her childhood in this cabin. It's where she learned to hunt. She knows what plants are edible and which have medicinal properties. And during these trips, she also was told about, quote, the old legends. Did you have, bonding time with your parents where you would learn about the old legends?
No, I can't say that we ever learned about the old legends.
Me neither. So, of course, there are plenty of creatures that would likely come after murderers. And even though she thinks her murder was justified, she's like, the gods don't care about nuance. They're going to kill me anyway, or they're going to come for me.
Is murder.
So I've set the scene for you now, okay? What sort of noises do you think she's hearing in this cabin?
Twig snaps, rustling of leaves, probably some stuff that is just like the creaking of a cabin.
Yeah, that's very normal.
All the scariest sounds when you're all by yourself.
Yes, and she is reading her e-reader on the couch when all of a sudden there are no noises.
Ooh.
There's not one squeak, not one crack. And she's like, that's weird. She gets up and goes and looks outside the window, and she realizes that the snow has frozen. And I know you're thinking, Sarah, snow is frozen. Well,
but as it's falling in the air.
Yes, it is frozen in the air, as
frozen
if
in time
has stopped. Yes. And the only thing she hears is a thump thump on the roof.
Santa?
No. She already knows from the old legends who's coming for her. It's Krampus.
Oh, no.
No. So I made you pull your old Krampus research because we've done Krampus before. We've done Krampus a couple of times now.
Yes.
And I thought we needed a refresher, since he's the primary interest of our story. So will you please let us know what highlights are on our reel here?
I'm going to keep it so brief. Welcome to It's Giving Krampus, Abridged. Thank you so much to NatGeoSciFiHistory.com and me from the past for compiling this research for prior episodes.
And thank you for my foresight in the past for doing this.
I'm not sorry for appreciating my own hard work.
Yeah, of course you should.
What's a Krampus? Krampus started humbly as a pagan figure of the winter solstice in Austrian folklore. Krampus, Krampussies, Krampi, because I wasn't sure which one, have devilish features. Think like half man, half goat, maybe some black fur, maybe some horns. Historically, for our sexy purposes, usually a crazy tongue, just like a long guy, maybe a forked guy, and hooves. Krampus and Saint Nicholas are like yin and yang to each other, sort of like enemies to lovers. So like Santa gives candy to kids who are good, and Krampus swats bad kids and kidnaps them for being bad and takes them to his lair.
Question for you.
Yeah.
Because we obviously know that Santa, the commercialized version of Santa, also hands out coal. Yes. Actually, the Dutch version of Santa will put you in a sack and bring you back to Spain to work off your penance.
Yeah.
But let's say it's just
Krampus
coal.
Jason.
Yeah. Let's just say Santa does coal and Krampus does the kidnapping. What do you think their consulting is like when they're like, is this kid really bad enough to get kidnapped, or do I just give him coal? Like,
I have to assume there's a hard boundary. I hope that that Santa goes first. It kind of doesn't matter though, because either Santa goes first, a bad kid gets coal, and then Krampus shows up and just takes all the coal kids, or vice versa. Save Santa money on coal. Krampus goes first, just kidnaps all the bad kids. Cuts down Santa's time to go around the world, give presents to all the good ones.
No, that's so good. Touche.
I'm just thinking logistically.
Yeah, I just have to imagine that there is some sort of communication between the two gentlemen because they have to decide, how bad are things going to get? Like, are we going to take Jimmy, or is Jimmy just going to get a warning?
Is he just getting a little bit of coal, or are they not as aware of each other? Santa goes first. He's just giving out coal.
It's like a calling card for Krampus.
Yeah.
He just doesn't know it. Okay, please continue your research.
absolutely terrifying news. Krampus comes December 5th on Krampus Nacht, which is today that we're recording. Ba-ba-bum.
We did not plan that, but that is great.
We didn't.
And it is the weekend of Sinterklaas Day for the Dutch. So sorry, I'm going to make this about me being Dutch.
That's totally fine.
It's
December
no one else's
6th
podcast.
December 6th is the Feast of St. Nicholas.
So yeah, I mean, makes sense.
And then finally, just to wrap it up, my favorite Krampus is Klaus the Powerhouse Bauer from Monster Pucker by Cleo Evans and Ashley Bennett. Thank you, but bonus shout out to the Sexy Krampus for Hire and Naughty Mrs. Claus by Lilith K. Dwatt. And none of these are to be confused with Santa in How My Neighbor Stole Christmas by Megan Quinn, whose name is Bob Krampus, but who I do not believe is a cram-pussy.
That is hilarious that you're pulling all of these references out from prior episodes. I love it.
You're welcome. Thank you for coming to my research.
I appreciate. So, we obviously have covered Krampus in a number of ways, in previous podcasts. But please go back and look at those episodes. So I'm going to give you a quote.
I'm ready
to pop us back into our story.
Yes.
Quote, if Santa came for the good children and rewarded them with presents, then the bad ones were left with a particular punishment. Except, as her father claimed, this particular monster didn't actually go after children. No, they reserved their judgment for the truly wicked, the blatantly sinful, those who are actually evil.
This Krampus is a horny sex fiend, so he's coming for adults.
Yeah, we are consent kings and queens out here, and we are making sure that we are not doing anything underage. Adults. Okay, so Imogen's looking around for something to protect herself and picks up an iron fire poker, which I kind of like had this moment. One of our friends sent me a Snapchat of her fireplace back at home. And my grandparents had a fireplace in like an old, they built their house probably in the 60s. Anyway, but like, I think anybody with an old fireplace, and I know you have one, has one of those little racks.
Yeah.
Of like the little broom.
Yeah, it's like fireplace accessories. Yes. And I do. Although I'm trying to think I imagine that we have a poker. I know it has like a little brush and like a little metal scoop, and I know that it has kind of a clamp thing so you can pick up a log and put it in. I would assume it has a poker, but I would have to go look because I don't usually use the accessories that much. We do have a lot of fires.
Do we? I'm just curious.
We bought ours.
You bought yours? Because I'm like, okay, is this like a rite of passage that people are just leaving them with their fucking houses?
Just like things you would need for a fireplace, like to clean ashes and soot off of the hearth, to add a log to a burning fire. Pokers are to move the logs around so that they burn better. And so like I guess maybe some houses have them already, but I assume it's because whoever initially had the fireplace bought that stuff. So
I just think with those fireplaces, like the real original ones, not like we installed this in 2010 and made this a fireplace. Like, is yours functional?
Yes, but ours, I think, was an older fireplace, and then they put a newer one in it.
Okay, because I think of like there are so many houses that I think they're not really that functional anymore. Like they would have to go and clear out the flue, like all of the things, and they don't do that, so they don't actually put fires in there.
Yeah, you know ours is functional. We have fires all the time.
Okay. That makes sense for you to have the accessories then. I'm like, maybe I'm just thinking my grandparents' house that like they never ran fires.
They're always just sitting there. In any house where I've had a fireplace, even if we never ever used the fireplace, I've seen all of that stuff by the hearth.
Okay, thank you. Because I'm just sitting here like, is this like,
no, 100%.
Everyone just hands this down to the next homeowner because they're like, well, you got to have a brass looking,
I wish that mine was, because you're talking about a very specific one that I have seen and that I've seen in previous houses that I've been in specifically. And ours is cool and more modern and not gold brass or like brassy shiny, but I like the brassy shiny one.
Yeah, it's so fancy.
Everyone must have one.
And now that I'm reflecting on it, my grandparents had like a formal living room that had a fireplace more like yours that was like brick,
Yeah.
And then they had an informal dining or living room, and that had like a stove, and that's where we would have fires.
Yeah.
If we had fires. And I'm
I
like,
know what you mean.
why did we have that? You guys built that, and it was like in the 60s. So why did you have like an old school stove? What are you doing?
You put this here.
I have questions. I need to ask them today. Okay, so let's jump back in. So she's got this poker, and as soon as the door opens, a looming figure walks through. It's humanoid. It's like a humanoid man that stands as tall as like the ceiling, like his horns, because of course he has horns,
obviously,
are like scraping the ceiling. All right.
Tall.
And he's got dark fur covering his body from his head down to his cloven hooves at the base of his legs.
Yep.
And this did make me question, because you brought up black fur. Do we think there are like gingers out there?
I have to imagine that it's not limited to black fur. Maybe that's just like a common way.
Like there's got to be brunettes and maybe some blondes.
A blonde Krampus sounds a little spooky. I don't know why, but
we're getting in Yeti territory then. You know what I mean? We're getting really close to Yetis.
If my wires are crossed, I'm going to think you're an abominable snowman.
That's so true. So anyway, he comes in and he's got the birch rods, and he's got the ancient sack over his shoulder. Did you talk about the birch rods?
Did I talk about kids getting hit with switches? I think I did.
Oh.
If not, I remembered it.
I got really fixated on the other
no,
stuff.
I guess I just kept it. I said swats bad kids and kidnaps them and takes them to his lair. So in the swatting, everyone.
He's just got a bundle of twigs with him.
Yeah.
And Imogen breaks immediately. She drops the poker, goes to her knees, and is admitting guilt to Krampus.
Okay.
And
Catholic much?
Yeah. Where's that guilt coming from, girlie? He is a little taken aback, like not tremendously, but he's a little like, you're already confessing? Like,
I just got here.
He asks if she has any excuses, and if she will even try and plead self-defense because her victim put his hands on her and she feared for his life. So it is inferring that there was maybe a domestic situation between her and her ex-boyfriend, that she killed him. Right. So we get this quote from her directly to Krampus. Quote, "It's not self-defense to carefully plan a murder. I can't claim that I did it impulsively. I murdered him and disposed of his body exactly as I planned. What is that if not guilt?" So she's like fully accepted this.
She's like, I did it.
She's like, just make me pay already, kill me, whatever. And he says, quote, "Not all penance is death." And then he asks her if she submits to her punishment, and she agrees. She does submit.
Consent.
So now we've got, yeah, for sure, consent, but also a little dom action, you know?
Yeah.
And he's like, "Great, now stand and strip." And she's confused at first, but she does not argue and immediately goes to work. And just as soon as her panties reach the ground, he is on her.
Wow.
But I mean, like, okay, I shouldn't say he's on her, because actually she is on him. He bends her over his knee and starts spanking her with the birch rods.
For sure.
And she's like, this is kind of weird, because it's like painful, but it kind of feels good.
How shocking that would happen.
This is a sexual awakening I wasn't expecting. And she's like waiting for it to actually hurt. She's waiting for something to happen with like malicious intent, but it's very clear that he is realizing she's enjoying the pleasure, and
this isn't working.
Well, it's like she doesn't know that he's trying to give her pleasure, right? Like she thinks that this is supposed to be terrible. Anyway, he's actually like now saying some nice things to her, like, "You're lovely, little one," and all these other things, which don't really love. He gets to fingering her, as one does,
for punishment.
We have a friend who loves vocal stems, and she picked up from Wicked Part 1, as one so often does.
Often does.
And I now want to say that. So he starts fingering her, as one so often does. And she's surprised when she feels that it's like blunt, that his fingers are blunt, because she could have sworn that he had claws when he walked in.
Oh, like maybe he or sheathed them.
Morphed them in some way.
Retracted them in.
And So in case you're wondering, time is still halted. And so he
Okay,
kind of
good.
makes a joke that like he's got all the time in the world, right?
Right.
And he's like, this punishment's gonna last forever. So eventually he does get so turned on that he's like, all right, it's time for us to get to the main event. Right.
Let's get this show on the road.
Let's get you sat up properly on this lap of mine. And so he sits her on his lap, but facing out. So they're not like face to face. This is not a romantic encounter, right?
This is punishment, as
Yes.
we've already discussed.
Yes. And I know you're wondering, his dick is very erect and very huge, but we don't get any description.
Okay. I'll
So
use my imagination.
Yep, we have a very human-looking penis to our knowledge. And of course, it's that also like giant. We obviously know he's huge, but it's that giant thing of like, how's it gonna fit? You know, like that. There's no way that's gonna fit in me, and then it magically does. Anyway, so
that's the magic of the holidays.
I wasn't expecting that tune today. Thank you.
You're welcome.
So as she's riding him, she feels something. I'm going to say this wrong. I feel like I'm going to say this wrong, but quote, wet and sinuous. Sinuous, I think.
Yeah, like sinew.
What do you know what this means?
When I hear the word sinew, what I envision is gross. It's like, how do I describe this? You know how in like Stranger Things, everything in the upside down is like nondescriptly like kind of gut and slimy.
Yeah.
That I would describe as sinew.
I'm so glad you knew what this was because I was not educated enough and had to go and look it up. And apparently it means something that has multiple curves and like it makes it sound like it's something that is like it was very difficult to understand even the description of it.
Like I imagine things that are like intestinal or like insides, but more nondescript than that.
Yeah. Yeah,
that's tissuey.
Yeah, it made it sound like it could have lots of curves and that like the width of it changes as it like I don't know. I hated it though. But she feels something wet and sinuous slither down her chest and wrap around her nipples. And I know you've probably already guessed, but this is in fact his tongue. I can't help but think of the Marvel villain Venom.
Yeah.
So that's what I've got in my head at this point. They are now getting to the main event. Like he's been penetrating her, but like we need to ramp things up. He's got a list of other people he's got to go give their penance to, right?
Correct.
So he gets her on the rug in front of the fireplace and shows off some more of these party tricks he can do with his fruit by the foot tongue. And he's working overtime while he's penetrating her. At one point he says penance, like he just keeps saying the word penance to her over and over again. But this time he does it without putting his tongue back in his mouth, which just makes me imagine he has the worst lisp in the world. And I have the distinct right to make fun of him for this because I used to have a lisp. So I can make fun of other people with lisps. That's how this works. But yeah, I have to imagine it sounded like Penneth. You know what I mean?
Yes, I do.
He's using it. I don't know what else it sounds like. Imogen nearly explodes with back-to-back orgasms, like one rolling into another. And she estimates to have about 3 of them before she is like, I cannot do this any longer.
I'm gonna die.
And Krampus, though, he's not done yet. He's got a couple more things to do. So I need to read this next part directly from the book because I don't think there's another way for me to describe it.
I'm set.
Quote, the tip flicked against her entrance and seemed to twist as it pressed inside. It was twisting, creating a spiral that seemed to double back on itself. More and more of that mind-blowing length pressing into her until she was stuffed almost more widely than he had with his cock. He began pulsing his tongue inside her, the feeling so strange that it took her body several seconds to decide it liked it very much.
Fair enough. I thought you were talking about that was his tongue the whole time?
That was his tongue. Sorry.
I thought you were talking about his peen the whole time, and I was like, he's got a duck corkscrew penis.
Yes. So no. But like the tongue. So it's like a corkscrew, but then like it's doubling back on itself. So then it's thickening.
Yeah. Yeah, it's getting up a distance and then going back from whence it came.
It's
like folding.
Yes. And she has such an orgasm that she does get a little wet and wild all over the place.
That's fine. Good for her.
Girly, you've been getting it.
That was tongue the whole time.
Well, he did penetrate her with his dick.
But I mean like that last bit.
Yeah.
The whole corkscrew bit.
Yeah, the whole corkscrew was his tongue. To my understanding, he does not orgasm. Okay.
That's not what he's here for. He's here for punishment.
No. He's here for pleasure only. So he just picks her up, places her on the couch, and tucks her in with a blanket, claiming she's done. She paid her penance. And she asks if they'll see each other again, and he just blatantly says no. I mean, he's not like mean about it, but he's like no. And she's like, but what about next Christmas? And she's now sounding really like desperate.
Murder more people, and we'll find out.
Well, I could just go out and, okay. He just keeps saying that she's paid her penance, like over and over again. He's saying this, but she keeps bugging him. So finally he's like, well, if you'd like next year on winter solstice, leave out an offering and maybe I'll drop by.
Okay. What kind of offering though?
We do not get specification.
Okay.
She is like, of course, bet I will be there.
Yeah, 100%.
And he doesn't it's almost like he doesn't believe her. And he just looks over his shoulder and it says, we shall see.
Okay.
Then he grabs his shit and leaves.
He's never coming back.
And then
he's never coming back.
The snow starts falling again and the flames crackle back to life. And that's the end of our book.
You're getting full ghosted by that Krampus. I'm sorry.
She's I can imagine her not going crazy and obviously a negative connotation, but over the next year, she's just her eyes twitching and she's plotting to do something to
plotting an offering.
Yes.
It's the fact that he was put an offering out for me and then didn't specify is sort of like when he left, he was call me, but then didn't give her.
Didn't give the number. That is our book. Now, on the document, do you have the document?
Yeah.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure you'd be able to see the cover. So we're going to go through our scorecard. Diversity, there's obviously no references to any physical descriptions other than him being dark-haired, which I guess he's brunette of some sort. But I mean, we talk about how this is a good way to allow you to imagine whatever you want to see in that. Plot, I do have to say we got a weird amount of plot.
A lot of story in this
in the beginning, but it's incomplete in my mind, so I'm giving it a 4.
Fair enough. I'm giving it a 5 because my threshold for success is lower, and I think that's so much story in a quick little guy.
That's fair. Smut for 15 pages, and he penetrated, but he didn't get off. She got off numerous times. We got a corkscrew tongue.
Yeah.
I'm giving it a 4.
I'm going to give it a 4 too, only because my imagination just had not I couldn't suspend my disbelief. I couldn't picture in my mind physically some of the things that were happening as well.
Agreed. And I think some of the
that's
things
a personal problem.
We're relying on us, the reader, to have a really good imagination to fill in the blanks there.
That's a self fail.
Yeah.
It's a skill issue on my part.
Will you look at the cover, please, and let us know what it looks like?
It's, first of all, a beautiful picture I would just have be the background of my phone right now.
Yeah.
Which is funny,
very picturesque.
I am in the market for a wintry phone background. It is just is this Coldplay? Because I'm looking at a sky full of stars.
That's hilarious. You are so funny.
Thanks. My mom thinks I should have a blog. So it's a night sky, just so many stars. And then there's lots and lots of beautiful, picturesque, snow-covered pine trees and a very cute, beautifully lit for the holidays, covered in snow and icicles cabin in the woods with just a little walked path up to it and calm blankets of snow. I will say this, if you were trying to hide from your family, it might not be the best idea to go to a very beautifully
Very bright.
lit,
Yeah.
super you will see this house from miles.
Yeah.
But it's beautiful. And then in just like cute little font on top, it says a very Krampus holiday, and it's by Katee Robert. It's a beautiful picture. I remember that this is a Patreon exclusive originally, so it didn't even need to have a cover.
Yeah.
So I will give it a 4.
That's nice. I'm going to give it a 3 just because it is. I mean, yes, it's a Patreon special. You didn't need to give it anything crazy. So I do understand the context, but I would be lying if I wasn't saying that I wanted something with an actual Krampus on it.
Fair.
It is a cute, I think it's a very unassuming cover, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yes, you could.
Very discreet.
If you for some reason had a, I'm going to say, hardcover copy of this 15-page story on a bus, you would not be embarrassed.
No.
I mean, you shouldn't be anyway, but
we should always be proud of Smut. But that leaves me with a 73% and you with an 86%. What is your Say Smut moment that you took away from this book?
Crazy tongue.
I think that's what we have to, right? Like that's the
Crazy
only real
tongue.
good
I
option.
mean, on the one hand, I'm like, what peen is this? What it shaped? But like, you can't really say something that's not there. Crazy tongue.
Crazy corkscrew tongue.
Crazy corkscrew
I will
tongue.
also say like the length of his tongue at one point, it sounds like it spans her entire body.
It's just
like he's doing work down there while he's face to face with her.
Yeah,
at one point.
his tongue is traveling up through her entire digestional tract backwards.
Yes, which we've talked about that in previous books.
Yeah, all the way up and then back down.
Yes, I will also say the fact that she folded it from a plot perspective, the fact that she went far enough to grab a poker and then as soon as he walks through the door, just immediately bows down. It's like, no, I'm so sorry.
Well, if he looks
girl.
anything like the picture I've sent you that I drew, I would immediately cave as well. So
yes. Okay, that is our story today. You can find us if you so choose on TikTok or Instagram at saysmutpodcast. Additionally, we'd love to hear book recommendations. Someone sent us a couple of weeks ago a zombie because apparently this person understood that Hope lives in Wisconsin, that this is a locally written zombie apocalypse book. No smut.
We love it.
But we love any references. Any smut or non-smut you want to send our way, please do. saysmutpodcast@gmail.com. Pop us a rating or review on the podcast platform of your choosing.
Yeah.
And, stay warm.
Stay warm.
Stay inside during this holiday season.
Mm-hmm.
I guess I don't know. I don't want you to murder people.
I'm going to say, I'm not going to tell you to be naughty or nice specifically. I'm just going to say, be aware of the consequences of your actions either way.
Yes, ma'am. And with that, stay smutty.
Bye-bye.